Hello, Immortal News family, and welcome back to our channel. In the last 24 hours, we have received the somber news of the passing of extraordinary talents, and today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Before we start, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Number 7. She wants you to know she probably had more fun doing those shows than you had watching them. That joyful spirit defined Ruth Buzzi. Whether delivering a hilarious glare or swinging her trademark purse as Gladys Ormsby on Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, she lit up television screens with perfect timing, fearless characters, and sharp humor. Ruth Buzzi passed away at 88 after facing Alzheimer's disease with quiet strength. She died peacefully at home in Texas, surrounded by love and comfort. Her role on Laugh-In made her a household name, appearing in all 6 seasons of the legendary sketch show. She became the face and force of a comedy revolution. Dressed in drab brown and a tightly knotted hairnet, Gladys Ormsby squared off with suitors and strangers using only her handbag and a powerful stare, earning laughs that echoed across the country. Before Laugh-In, Ruth had been honing her craft in reviews alongside future icons like Barbra Streisand and Joan Rivers. She studied at the Pasadena Playhouse with classmates Dustin Hoffman and Gene Hackman, graduating with honors. Over a 45-year career, Ruth appeared in more than 200 television programs. She voiced characters on cartoons, played for laughs in variety hours, and even delighted children on Sesame Street. Her talents weren't confined to funny faces. She could move seamlessly from sketch comedy to heartfelt voice work. Ruth's work earned her a Golden Globe, 5 Emmy nominations, and a Lifetime Achievement Award from her alma mater. She was also inducted into the NAB Broadcasting Hall of Fame and the Rhode Island Heritage Hall of Fame, the state where she began her journey. Despite the spotlight, Ruth never forgot the people around her. Known for her kindness, she maintained close friendships with co-stars like Lily Tomlin and Joanne Worley. Her humility was real. She once said she felt lucky just to drive down the hill to NBC each day, grateful to be part of something bigger than herself. Her husband, Kent Perkins, shared with fans how much she appreciated their support. He said she found deep joy in making people laugh. That joy lives on through the memories she gave us. Tributes to Ruth Buzzi. Number 6. Her songs made people feel understood, even when they were laughing through their tears, said longtime friend and collaborator Billy Bragg. That was Jill Sobule, bold, tender, funny, and fearless. Jill, the singer-songwriter behind iconic tracks like I Kissed a Girl and Supermodel, passed away at 66. She died unexpectedly in a house fire. Over nearly 4 decades, Jill redefined folk pop with her honesty and humor. She wasn't afraid to sing about things others only whispered: mental health, religion, sexuality, or politics. Her lyrics dug deep but always landed with warmth. Born in Denver, Jill started her music journey in the early 90s with Things Here Are Different, but it was her 1995 self-titled album that launched her into public consciousness, giving voice to LGBTQ+ stories and teenage dreams in songs that remain cultural landmarks. Jill wasn't just ahead of her time, she made space for others to follow. Long before crowdfunding became common, she pioneered fan-funded releases like California Years. She performed with legends like Neil Young and Cyndi Lauper and co-created the moving off-Broadway musical, Fuck 7th Grade, inspired by her own struggles and triumphs. She played over 100 shows a year, never losing her love for connecting face-to-face. On stage or off, Jill radiated light. If you saw her live, you left changed. If you met her, she made you feel like the only person in the room. Her personal experiences, growing up Jewish, battling anorexia and depression, fighting for justice, were never hidden. They were songs, they were truth, they were hers to give. In 2019, she appeared as herself on The Simpsons, a nod to her lasting influence in pop culture. Moments like that reminded fans how far her voice traveled. Her manager John Porter called her a force of nature and human rights advocate whose music is woven into our culture. He added, "I hope her music, memory, and legacy continue to live on and inspire others." Jill is survived by her brother James, his wife Mary Ellen, and a larger family that loved her dearly. The world lost a boundary-breaking artist and a beautiful soul. Jill Sobule changed music, but more than that, she reminded us to stay open, curious, and maybe a little weird. Tributes to Jill Sobule. Number 4. It wasn't just her beauty, it was the way she carried herself with grace, strength, and undeniable light. Tania Marie Caringi, whose influence stretched far beyond magazine covers, passed away peacefully at the age of 38. Known for her global presence and timeless charm, Tania left a legacy that touched the hearts of many across both fashion and entertainment. Born in Michigan, Tania grew up between the United States and Italy. That cross-cultural experience shaped her global perspective and magnetic appeal. Discovered at 19 by a fashion agent in Italy, her journey took off quickly, with campaigns and features in Milan, Rome, New York, and Los Angeles. Throughout her career, Tania graced the pages of world-renowned magazines like Playboy, Sports Illustrated, Maxim, GQ, FHM, and Vogue Italia. She was named Modi's Most Beautiful Woman in 2014, a moment that marked a high point in her journey and celebrated her signature style and grace. She didn't just pose, she inspired. Tania's presence in the Kevin Lyttle and Flo Rida music video for Anywhere introduced her to millions, while her role as co-host of Miss Universe Italy highlighted her charisma and poise beyond the camera. Behind her stunning portfolio was a woman known for her warmth, professionalism, and unwavering dedication. Friends, colleagues, and fans remember her as approachable, kind, and deeply passionate about her work. Tania lit up every room she entered, a close colleague shared. She had a magic that couldn't be taught. Tania battled illness privately and passed away surrounded by love. She leaves behind a community grieving her absence, but grateful for her unforgettable contributions. Details regarding memorial services remain private at this time. Her spirit continues through the images and memories she left behind, and through the people she inspired, both those who knew her and those who only knew of her. Tributes to Tania Marie Caringi. Number 3. Throughout her career, Birnbaum produced penetrative interrogations of mass media. These words from curator Elizabeth Chodos offer just a glimpse into Dara Birnbaum's fearless vision, one that forever changed the way we understand TV, image, and power. Dara Birnbaum, the artist who taught us to see with sharper eyes, passed away at the age of 78 after a brief illness. Her work challenged the very foundation of mass media, using repetition and interruption to make us think twice about what we often took for granted. Born in New York City, Birnbaum began her journey with architecture and painting before turning to video art in the 1970s. Her work was like a mirror held up to the screen. But she wasn't just reflecting the media, she was disrupting it. Her breakthrough piece, Technology Transformation, Wonder Woman, mashed together TV clips into a hypnotic loop. A woman's spin, repeated over and over, turned from dramatic spectacle into a striking feminist statement. It was art that made you stop and ask uncomfortable questions. Birnbaum's art spoke in electric colors and syncopated edits. It whispered truths beneath the noise. Through projects like The Damnation of Faust and her public installations, she made the familiar strange, and in doing so, unforgettable. But her impact went far beyond gallery walls. She taught, mentored, and sparked conversations that rippled through generations. Her students and peers describe her as endlessly curious, always generous with her insights, and deeply committed to helping others find their voice. Her influence crossed international borders, with exhibitions at Maxi in Rome, Marion Goodman Gallery, and a celebrated survey of her work at Carnegie Mellon's Miller ICA. Yet Dara herself remained grounded, sharp in intellect, but humble at heart. She believed media could be reimagined, deconstructed, and reclaimed, and in doing so, she gave voice to those the screen had long ignored. Dara Birnbaum leaves behind a powerful legacy. Her videos changed how we watch, think, and feel, and her courage as an artist continues to inspire. She is survived by those who carry her spirit into new work, bolder questions, and fearless imaginations. Tributes to Dara Birnbaum. Number 2, you don't just get drafted by both the major leagues and the NFL unless you're special. That's how teammates often describe Tom Brown, a rare blend of talent, heart, and determination. Tom passed away at age 84, leaving behind a legacy unlike any other in American sports. He died peacefully after a brief illness. Born in Laureldale, Pennsylvania and raised in Maryland, Tom quickly made a name for himself as a gifted athlete. At the University of Maryland, he excelled in both baseball and football, earning All-American honors in both. His .387 batting average stood as a sign of things to come. Tom's first big step came on opening day, as the starting first baseman for the Washington Senators. But after one season in Major League Baseball, he made a bold shift, taking his talents from the ballpark to the gridiron. It was on a frozen field with the Green Bay Packers where Tom found his greatest triumphs. For 5 seasons, he helped anchor one of football's greatest dynasties. He played key roles in 3 NFL championships and starred in the first 2 Super Bowls under coach Vince Lombardi. His game-saving interception in the 1966 NFL Championship is still considered a moment of legend, sealing a win over the Cowboys and sending Green Bay to the first Super Bowl. Tom finished his football career with 13 interceptions and helped define the role of defensive back during a golden era of the sport. But his impact reached far beyond stats. From 1989 to 2015, Tom devoted himself to youth mentorship, running a sports league for kids in Salisbury, Maryland. Thousands of children learned teamwork, discipline, and joy through his guidance. He was humble, thoughtful, and always ready to lend a hand. Whether on the field or in the community, Tom set an example that lives on. His unique place in sports history, as the first to hit a home run in MLB and win a Super Bowl, is a distinction matched by only one other athlete. As Packers historian Cliff Crystal said, he had the opportunity to play with the Packers and he took that opportunity. And through that choice, he became part of history. Tom Brown's legacy lives in the hearts of fans, teammates, and the generations he inspired. Tributes to Tom Brown. What's trending on the internet? News 1. What began as a scenic evening near the gateway to Yellowstone took a tragic turn, as a pickup truck and a tour van collided on Highway 20 near Henry's Lake State Park in eastern Idaho. The crash, which happened just after 7 p.m. on Thursday, claimed 7 lives, including the driver of the pickup and 6 passengers from the van, which was carrying a tour group of 14. Both vehicles caught fire following the collision, and 8 survivors were quickly taken to area hospitals thanks to the swift response of emergency teams. Authorities are still working to notify families, and the victims' names are being withheld out of respect. Officials are continuing their investigation to better understand what led to this heartbreaking incident. While this is a difficult moment for the Yellowstone Gateway community and for families far beyond, it's also a time to honor the memory of those lost. travelers and adventurers who cherished the beauty of America's great parks. Let's remember their spirit and hold their loved ones in our thoughts, drawing strength from the resilience and compassion that always shine brightest in times of need. News 2. Reality TV fans are sending their prayers and support to Floribama Shore star Kirk Meadows, who is critically ill in an intensive care unit. The 33-year-old MTV personality has been hospitalized for over 2 weeks now, battling a severe case of necrotizing pancreatitis. Kirk's condition is extremely serious. He's currently on a ventilator and sedated while doctors work to help his body heal. His Floribama Shore castmates Amy Hall and Nilsa Prowant shared the news with fans through emotional social media posts, with Nilsa traveling to Miami to be by his side. "He's been there for me for the past 8 years of my life," Nilsa shared in a heartfelt video, describing her visit to see him as one of the hardest experiences of her life. Kirk played a meaningful role in important moments of her life, even walking her mother down the aisle at her wedding. Adding to the difficulty of the situation, Kirk reportedly has no health insurance. His family has established a GoFundMe to help with what will likely be substantial medical expenses during what could be a lengthy recovery process. The Floribama Shore family has come together in this challenging time, showing the real bonds that formed during their 4 seasons together on the show. Fans across the country are joining in support of Kirk, remembering his vibrant personality from the series and hoping for his complete recovery in the days ahead. News 3. Let's talk about a heartfelt moment from across the pond. Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, recently opened up in a new interview after losing his appeal to restore full security for himself and his family in the United Kingdom. At 40 years old and now living in California, Harry spoke candidly about his hope for reconciliation with his father, King Charles, who is 76 and currently undergoing cancer treatment. Despite their deep family rift, which began when Harry and his wife Meghan stepped back from royal duties in 2020, Harry emphasized that there's no point in continuing to fight anymore. He shared that life is precious and expressed genuine concern for his father's health, saying he would truly like to mend their relationship. Unfortunately, Harry revealed that King Charles has not responded to his calls or letters, often leaving him with the message that the king is unavailable. Harry's story is a gentle reminder that even within the most famous families, reaching out with forgiveness and prioritizing loved ones is what matters most. As time moves forward, many hope that bridges can be rebuilt and that the family will find their way back to one another, honoring the spirit of unity and understanding. News 4. Bruce Springsteen's openness about mental health has inspired fans worldwide, particularly as he's shared his deeply personal journey with depression over the years. The legendary rock icon, now in his 70s, has been remarkably candid about his struggles, which he first addressed professionally in his 30s when he began therapy. The boss has described experiencing what he calls agitated depression, a state where he felt overwhelmingly uncomfortable with no sense of inner peace. In his own words, he couldn't find even a 12 by 12 piece of the floor to stand on where he could feel at ease. Springsteen's mental health challenges are something he's monitored carefully throughout his life, noting that he's come close enough to mental illness to recognize he's not completely well. He manages his condition with medication to keep himself on what he calls an even keel, preventing the dramatic swings he's experienced when untreated. What makes his story particularly poignant is the family history behind his struggles. His father, Doug Springsteen, was eventually diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, helping Bruce understand the silent, brooding presence that dominated his childhood kitchen. This diagnosis gave him context for his own challenges, but also introduced new concerns about hereditary mental health issues that might affect him or his children. Despite these challenges, Springsteen has found constructive ways to manage his condition. He describes performing as the trustiest form of self-medication and continues to create music and connect with fans even during difficult periods. His resilience demonstrates how even those struggling with mental health can lead productive, meaningful lives while acknowledging their challenges. Springsteen's willingness to discuss these deeply personal matters has helped normalize conversations about mental health, particularly for men of his generation. His message reminds us that mental health challenges can affect anyone, regardless of fame or success, and that seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. News 5. Imagine the relief and joy when a community comes together to save a life. In Upper Marlboro, Maryland, an incredible rescue unfolded after 8-year-old Nadim Condé, a nonverbal boy with autism, wandered away from his home late at night. The temperature was just 40 degrees, and his worried mother, Fatmata Zine, quickly called for help, fearing for her son's safety. Within minutes, Prince George's County Police leapt into action, deploying their K-9 officers, aviation unit, and a rescue helicopter. Officers knew the urgency as children on the autism spectrum are often drawn to water. Using a thermal imaging camera, the helicopter crew located Nadim near a large body of water, his legs submerged but safe. Officers Everett, Mason, and Carter rushed to reach him, carefully guiding him back to safety. Nadim was cold and wet, but after a medical check, he was joyfully reunited with his relieved family. This heartwarming rescue reminds us of the power of quick thinking, teamwork, and community support. Thanks to the compassionate efforts of first responders, Nadim is safe, and his family, and the entire community, will forever remember the courage and care shown that night. News 6. In a tragic incident that shocked the financial world, Morgan Stanley International Chairman Jonathan Bloomer and his wife Judy lost their lives when a luxury yacht capsized off the coast of Sicily. The couple was among 6 passengers who perished when the 183-foot superyacht Bayesian sank during a sudden storm in August 2024. The Bloomers were aboard the vessel owned by British tech entrepreneur Mike Lynch, who also lost his life in the accident. The yacht was caught in a tornado near Porticello early in the morning of August 19, 2024, and sank quickly, leaving survivors with little time to escape. Jonathan Bloomer, 70, had served as chair of Morgan Stanley's European business since 2018, and was recently appointed to lead the board at British insurer Hiscox. During his distinguished career spanning decades, he worked as a partner at Arthur Andersen for 20 years and held several senior roles at Prudential from 1995 to 2005. Judy Bloomer was a respected professional who worked as a teacher before dedicating nearly 30 years to her career as a psychotherapist. She also served as a trustee for the Eve Appeal, a UK-based charity focused on gynecological cancer research and awareness. Following the tragedy, Morgan Stanley CEO Ted Pick remembered Jonathan as a mentor to many and praised his wise counsel and spirit of kindness. The couple's family found some comfort knowing they remained together even in their final moments. Their legacy continues through their professional contributions and the many lives they touched throughout their careers. The financial and insurance industries remember Jonathan for his leadership and experience, while Judy's compassionate work as a psychotherapist and charity trustee leaves a lasting impact on those she helped. Number 1. Over a career spanning more than 40 years, he passionately devoted himself to acting and directing. But above all, he was a devoted father, son, brother, and friend, his daughter Ara shared. Ricky Davao, beloved by generations of viewers, passed away at age 63 after a brave battle with cancer. His presence lit up screens for decades, but it was his compassion and professionalism that left the deepest impression on those who knew him. From dramatic lead roles to powerful supporting turns, Ricky brought heart and authenticity to every performance. Audiences remember him for standout roles in films like Saranggola, Ipaglaban Mo, and Smaller Circles. Bold and boundary-pushing, he also embraced challenging roles in independent films that expanded the horizons of Philippine cinema. But Ricky's range didn't stop with acting. As a television director, he guided some of the most moving stories to air on screen. Series like Magpakailanman and Paano ang Pasko bear his trusted vision, one rooted in empathy and truth. Born into a family of artists, Ricky grew up inspired by his father, actor Charlie Davao. That creative atmosphere helped him grow not just as a performer, but as a storyteller. Later, he became a mentor himself, known for guiding young talents and encouraging honesty and craft. Though his marriage to Jackie Lou Blanco ended, they remained devoted co-parents to their 3 children, Arabella, Ricky May, and Kenneth. In recent years, he shared his life with partner Malka, continuing to value family and quiet joys away from the spotlight. His legacy is not only seen in the films and shows he helped create, but in the people he uplifted. His children, fellow artists, and countless fans now carry forward the passion and grace he showed all his life. Director and colleague Loris Guilan called him a rare gem, deeply passionate, deeply kind. Philippine cinema lost one of its most grounded and gifted souls. His family asks that we remember him with love, through the laughter and tears he brought into our homes. tributes to Ricky Davao. I will miss you and love you for the rest of my life. Those were the words shared by Caitlin Ordone after the heartbreaking loss of her son, Preston Ordone.